Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. And to be honest with you, over the last few days, I've seen Manchester United fans angry, frustrated, surrounding the rumours about Erik Ten Hag's job. And I just wanted to get everyone's opinion out there who comes and gets involved on the channel day by day, week by week, on all your thoughts and opinions, your feelings on all these rumours. Now, we did do a video last week, and you did ask for patience in this process. Are you still feeling patient with everything that's been going on in the last few days?
I'm feeling patient, but right across social media, it's getting my patience is wearing thin. I mean, just coming here today, 2 United fans who I know come charging up to me. What's going on? We've heard this, we've heard that. It's driving everyone mad. So that patience is wearing thin. But social media, it's what we live by now. It's out there, and just people seem to be regurgitating like old news. It might this, it might that, and it's really getting on everyone's nerves. But patience is the name of the game here. It is an end-of-season review. I did explain last week, me and Kieron, like, they're discussing everything. It's not just Erik Ten Hag. It's players' contracts. Are we going to keep this player? Is Greenwood coming back? What we're going to do? What's our approach? Some people might be arguing over it. We want him back. Some might be saying differently. You just don't know what's going on. So things are being discussed, but more than people actually think out there what is going on. Hell of a lot as far as I'm concerned. And I call for it again. Patience. And just try and ignore the waffle, what's out there. I'm trying to ignore it, but it's very difficult when people are coming up to you and grabbing you by the shoulders going, what's going on? As though I know what's going on. I don't know anything. Kieron doesn't know anything. No one knows anything. It's just poor communication. But to be honest with you...
Poor journalism as well, I think, with most of the cases.
Well, the communication from United, is it poor? To be honest with you, that's how it should be. But journalists... social media people out there, that is so poor. It is getting everyone at it. To be honest with you, I've got to be honest here. If I wasn't a United fan, right, I would think this club is nuts.
Yeah.
I would think it's nuts. You know, poor on the pitch, poor communication, poor medical staff, poor coaches, poor training ground, poor stadium. You know, you just...
Is there any chance you can just stop now and put a full stop to that?
No, but that's what it looks like, you know. Yeah. And I'll say it again, right? Once this review's done, chaos is coming. We think it's bad now. Yeah. So you've just got to have patience and just trust the process, what's going on with this review, and hope that they get it right going forward. It's difficult. I know it's difficult. I sometimes am wavering. But at the end of the day, patience is the name of the game. And the name of the game with social media isn't patience.
Yeah, like I said, get involved with your opinions today. Most importantly, because what I'm discussing throughout today's video. I'm going to kick it off with Curlers87. It says, guys, they've been saying Erik Ten Hag will be sacked now for over a week. Sad that people are sitting there hoping he gets the boot, while at the same time, United are silent and not as active as fans want them to be.
Yeah, well, that's the sad thing about it. There's people out there hoping he gets the boot when at the end of the day, if he gets the boot, a new manager comes in, it's chaos. I keep saying it, it's chaos. Why would you bring a manager in to take us forward, right, and walk into chaos and have to deal with that and get distracted? Doesn't make sense. You know, what's out there is the media are doing, as some people call it, clickbaiting and all that to get the eyeballs on them, okay? They're not coming out with anything sensible. They're not coming out with the truth. They don't know the truth. And United are just keeping it all in-house. And to be honest with you, when you look at it, okay, for them to keep secret what's going on, that's a good thing to look forward to.
Well, with you saying about keeping it secret in the way they're conducting themselves at the moment, Richie in the chat says, I'm liking the way Ineos are operating. Nearly everything is done in secret, which is why so many channels are putting out clickbait nonsense, because no one knows or expects, well, because no one knows, but expect more surprises like Omar Barada, like how that was done, you know, surprise, all of a sudden, bang, there you go.
Well, that looks like the way it's going. When the right people are sat down, okay, everything's closed down. There's nothing leaking. So then people, you know, they've got to be congratulated, right? Because when it's open to a bigger field of people inside Manchester United. It's leaked everywhere. But Barada just shows you, right? That's the future, how things are going to be conducted, but with the right people in place. And the right people aren't all fully in place yet. There's still quite a few more people to come. So it's good signs, but it's frustrating. And what it is, the people out there who thrive on news, right, are just being outrageous and really getting United fans bang at it.
Yeah, I think people must have been discussing some transfer news speculation in the chat. But Bob Nab says in the chat, says, how are we negotiating with players if they don't know who the bloody manager is going to be? It's all a bit of a mess.
Well, I said this the other week. You know, if no one knows who the manager is going to be, how can they start discussing with players? Because players want to know who the manager is. Players want to come and play for that manager. So it baffles me how people can even generate, oh, this transfer, we're going to go for him. We're talking to him. We're talking to him from who? Who's done that? Who's negotiating that? Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag's on holiday, okay? Erik Ten Hag's getting sacked, according to a lot of people, okay? So if he's getting sacked, and that's the way the media seem to be going, then these players, who are they talking to? I don't believe anyone is being talked to, right, with a result of him coming to Old Trafford, that there's bids in there. When there's bids gone in, right, then you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's when a player could come to Manchester United. But the negotiations, right, should be from a manager saying, go and get him. I want him. I want him. That, to me, is not happening.
Is that definitely not happening to you? I was going to say, on the flip side, you know, everything in the background, because we don't know it, Erik Ten Hag's staying. And whilst he's on holiday, the people who should be doing the jobs in negotiating the transfers are actually doing that to get some players in.
That's correct. But social media, the media itself and all that, everything out there is all geared for Erik Ten Hag getting the sack. Okay? So they can't go out and negotiate on behalf of the manager. The manager wants you to play in this system. The manager wants you for this. The manager wants you as probably a captain or something like that. Okay? Well, it can't be if he's getting the sack. It can be if he's staying. But I don't believe all these targets, supposedly targets, are actually true. I've seen it time and time again. I think over, and this is what's annoying a lot of United fans, getting them at it, okay, by all this stories out there, made up stories, a lot of them, right? I actually believe, right, that we've been linked to 15 players, right, through social media in the last 2 weeks. 15 players. That can't be right. That's the game being played out there by people clickbaiting and everything. And because United aren't coming out with things, there's no communication, it's not coming out, it's not being leaked, people are making up stories, regurgitating this story. And no wonder United fans are angry.
If you're saying 15 players, I think they've been linked to at least 10 different managers as well over the past 2, 3, 4 weeks. But Dan Fenton, you do look like you're a little bit frustrated in the chat, mate. He says it's a joke that Jim Ineos said they would keep us updated, but nothing, and it's a joke. They're starting to remind me of the Dirty Glazers 2.0.
You see, you have to look at what they said. We're going to do an end-of-season review, and then we'll tell you. I think what's happened here, no one expected this end-of-season review to go on so long, okay? I think that's the problem. Maybe if the communication would have been better, saying, look, it's going to be a couple of weeks, we've got an end-of-season review, and we'll inform you as and when it's took place, because we have a hell of a lot to deal with, and it's going to take time. I think they've missed out on that, and I think United fans would have been happier hearing that than hearing radio silence.
Any kids watching, cover your ears right now. Colin says, this is the same shit show that Erik Ten Hag has been trying to sort out since he first came in.
Yeah, there's a way, look, there's a way to look at it like that. This is the same shit show, okay? As though, like, no one knows what they're doing in that. But I think they know what they're doing. They're keeping it in-house. They're dealing with it. Everyone's aware of what's going on. The important people. I think Erik Ten Hag's aware of what's going on. because I do believe they're going to keep him. I think he's part of this. But that's only my opinion, and we've all got our opinions. But I don't think it's the same shit show. I think they're changing what's going on because there is no news coming out. So that's change.
Well, we were talking about news. I think it was yesterday. Toby Craig, he's looking at replacing Ellie Norman as Chief Communications Officer at Manchester United. And I don't know about all yous out there, but straight away, he reminds me of Sheikh Yazim. He seems to have a look about him round his face and that. But, you know, it seems to be that since Ineos have come in, they've wanted to get the backroom staff sorted before anything else, get the right people in place.
Yeah, well, this communication officer, and it's quite right that it's coming because the communication, what's gone out and how it's leaked out and all that has been absolutely diabolical. So this bloke, they must know him, must be happy with him, bringing him different approach to how they're going to communicate, and they brought him in at the right time. Because the first thing he's going to do is communicate what's been going on inside Manchester United on this review. What a start to a job that kid's got.
Yeah, he's actually worked previously with Omar Barada as well, so they've had a relationship at Manchester City.
There you go. What a partnership there. They know what they're doing then. This kid starting off his career in a spectacular fashion.
With Erik ten Hag as well, don't get me wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he meant to be still on holiday as well?
Yeah, still on holiday, but you know what people are like. They'll work from home. They'll work on holiday. It's how the world is. That's what the people do. He'll know what's going on, one way or the other.
Do you think he will be getting kept informed of developments, maybe with transfers and just general day-to-day of what's going on at the club, even whilst he's on holiday?
I think he'll be kept informed of certain things what are going on for the simple reason. There's a lot of people involved in Erik ten Hag's staff. A lot of lives are involved in this. And I don't think they'd be so cruel not to keep people up to date with what's going on. A lot of changes are coming, and a lot of people's lives are going to be certainly changed by the decisions what go on in this review. So I think it'll be, just out of politeness alone and how to stop people worrying, the communication will be there. I think there'll be direct communication between Brailsford, Ten Hag, and other staff members who belong to Erik ten Hag. But like I say, I do believe he's aware, Erik ten Hag, of what's going on.
Yeah, I've seen something today. Contract talks. Jonny Evans, that Man United confirmed they are talking to Jonny Evans over a new deal. Same with Tom Heaton as well. Contract offered to Amari Forsum, but the updates from Fabrizio Romano state that Amari Forsum will be leaving. Brandon Williams, as you can see, well, is also leaving the club. But with Jonny Evans, does that tell you that maybe not getting them two centre-halves that everyone keeps asking for this summer?
Well, it tells you that the cover isn't going to be top quality. Now, Jonny Evans, fair play to the kid. He's done well this year when he's been on there, like the kid. And he's done better than I thought he would. But it is a worry because we need two centre-halves. You know, Varane's gone, injury-prone. Jonny Evans is injury-prone. But at the end of the day, you have to worry about the cover, the strength of the squad. If they're keeping people like Jonny Evans on and not bringing new blood in. You know, new blood, you could bring in one top centre-half and a good centre-half, hoping he will get better to like move people like Jonny Evans on. But if they're looking at Jonny Evans, then they're not really looking at strengthening the centre-half position with two top centre-halves. So for cover, it is a worry going forward. But it's not unexpected, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone really thought that he was going to go out there and just splash the cash, I think over the last couple of weeks, the way the stories have been coming out, how the penny pinching and how they're doing good housekeeping at United, really, stories like this shouldn't be a surprise. They are going to do good housekeeping. They're not going to splash the cash. And that's when I go back to what we just discussed about the transfers. All these names and all that, they're not going to do it.
Yeah, but if also, well, a lot of people out there expect Harry Maguire to leave this summer. You've also got Rafael Varane, Casemiro's expected to leave as well. So it don't leave you with a lot of experience in that squad as well. And you've got Jonny Evans still there. I still think he'll possibly move up into a coaching role, maybe at Manchester United, you know, the season after myself.
I think the conversation, what he's had, Harry Maguire, talking about his injury, sorting his body out, and
It's having to adapt, isn't it?
adapting to what he does in training. It tells you he's staying here at Man United. That's what it tells me. He's staying here at Man United. So looking at a centre-half, for instance, because we're on the subject, I think they'll just go out there and get one centre-half when I've been calling we need two centre-halves and a centre-forward.
Yeah, Sofyan Amrabat as well. You know, the director over there at Fiorentina has said that he wants to stay in the Premier League, and obviously it's going to be at Manchester United, his preferred destination to stay here.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's convinced anyone that he's done enough to stay at Manchester United. And I don't think he's convinced most people that he will get a Premier League contract. I think maybe the way he's played the last couple of games, I think that might have sort of like helped him. And United are looking at it in this preview. I think they will be looking at his fitness. They'll be talking to the fitness coaches, seeing how he is with the medical people, because he had a couple of injuries and that. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but he might have turned him round. But I'm not sure he's convinced everyone that he deserves a contract. So with Amrabat, I think it's in the balance. And looking at Premier League, I'm not too sure that many people would go for Amrabat based on what they've seen over the season with Amrabat. I like the player. He impressed me in the World Cup. He's not impressed me that much, and there's a reason why. He's played left back, and that's not his position, so that's understandable. But I think the Newcastle game and the FA Cup final, that's shown me what I've seen in the World Cup. There's a player there what can do a job, and he was effective, and he also helped the team, and the team sort of built on him, which was good. So I think it's just down to medical and the coaching staff just to have a little chat about it. And like I say, these are one of the things what will be talked about.
Well, we did talk about Bruno Fernandes on Monday when a lot of news come out, his agent talking to other top European clubs. But you was always adamant this was like a strategic move to try and get a new and improved deal.
Yeah, I thought his agent was out there talking, because I did say, listening to Bruno over the last fortnight, the way he's come out before and after the FA Cup, this kid wants to stay. A lot of people look up to him, the youngsters. You've heard the youngsters go on about him. He likes talking about the youngsters, how he gets them round and encourages them and all that. He wants to stay at United, his family. I did say, look, it's as simple as this. I believe, that's what I said. I believe this is just what happens if in football at this time of the year, where agents go out there and sort of attract attention with the media, and then what happens is the club turns around and says, well, we don't want you to go anywhere here, we'll give you an improved contract. And right on the button, this story's come out. That's what it looks like. And it looks like that with many, many players.
Yeah, and Dan Davies says, if you can get the Amrabat that played the last 3 or 4 games, then I'd sign him. But unfortunately, he wasn't that great before that. Have you also got to look at the way Manchester United set up tactically as well? You know, in them games, especially against Newcastle and also against Manchester City, and how compact they were in the midfield. Whereas in other previous games early on in the season or just before that, we weren't set up like that. We were a lot more open in midfield.
I think you've got to look at it from Amrabat's point of view. He was dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
He's come into a team, okay, what players were getting injured. Players had to, short covered at centre-half, things like that. Yeah. We've had all players. Left back, right back.
Delo playing left back the majority of the season.
Wan-Bissaka playing left back. All different positions players have played in, and he's ended up, right, we've been overloaded with midfield players, but every other position seems to have been poor, and he's ended up at left back. So he has been dealt a bad hand, and then he gets an injury. Doesn't help, do you know what I mean? But I think they will look at him. I think what it is, Man United are looking at him. Yes, he had a couple of good games, just said that, and I agree with you there. But I think what it is, they'll be looking at the cost. I think that's what might prohibit going for Amrabat. If they can reduce that cost, then it's worth the gamble getting Amrabat in, hoping that he can avoid the injuries and then just
provide
kick on.
Competition as well as a squad player.
Well, if the thing, what I look at, we've just discussed Johnny Evans. If they're thinking of offering Johnny Evans a contract, then based on that, I would give Amrabat another contract. But the sticking point might be having to fork out 20 million pound. I think it's that range. Get me if I'm wrong, just let me know. But I think it's 20 million pound. And I think the gamble, I think some people in United will have it under discussion, say that might be too much of a gamble for 20 million pound for a player who we see as a good player who can come in and do a job as and when we need him. So,
but in this summer transfer window, if you lose the likes of Eriksen and Casemiro, you know, hopefully then they do go out and buy a really top midfielder to come in and replace one of them two. But you'd also need that strength in depth, like we've seen all last season, with the amount of injuries that occurred week on week. So Amrabat, for me, would be a great squad player to have, though, for next season.
For me, it'd be a great squad player, but I'm looking at it from a Manchester United point of view. I think they might be just looking at it from a pure financial point of view. Yeah. Is it worth the gamble? Yeah. As a player, is improved as far as I'm concerned. I've liked him on my eye, thinking, hey, he's getting better. People out there are thinking the same. But is he worth the gamble for 20 million based on what we've seen all season?
Yeah, just going to wrap it up there. Let us know what your thoughts and opinions are on Amrabat and everything else we've discussed in today's video, including on Erik ten Hag. But yeah,
I just want to point out there, this end of season review, I did point out the other week, because we haven't gone on about Erik ten Hag or this end of season review. I look at things what have to be done, and Sancho comes into the mind, okay? Greenwood comes into the mind. There's a lot of talking what has to stay in-house. And clearly this review, right, can keep it in-house. They don't want things leaking out. Because is Sancho staying? Is he going to go back out on loan? Does anyone want to buy him, right? Are they talking to Dortmund? What's going on? You know, what's his representative saying? And the same with Greenwood. It's all up in the air about these two people. Now, when you talk about Sancho and Greenwood, it brings toxicity out. And I think United need to keep this in-house and need to get it dealt with. So they can't come out with a statement because they've decided on something on Sancho, for instance, right? And they're just waiting, right, for Dortmund to come back. The same with Greenwood. They're waiting for his agents, or they're talking to his agent. You know, they're waiting for a reply. So this is why news isn't coming out. And I think they want to bring it all out in one go. So this isn't a review about, oh, we finished eighth, we've done this, we've done that. No, this is about everything, because it's big change coming this summer. And you have to look going forward, right, that the right changes have to be made, or we're going to be in the mud for a lot longer than people actually think.
Yeah, good wise words to wrap it up there. I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us today, getting involved in the chat with your opinions on everything discussed. If you want to continue the chat, get involved in the comments below. We'd love to see it. If you want to help support the channel, smash that like button, and we'll be back tomorrow for another chat about Manchester United.
Stay calm.
Stay calm. Be patient.
Be patient.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.